I want to talk to you about how to get delivery jobs at printing companies. So, if you have a delivery business, whether a cargo van business or a sprinter van business or a box truck business, you need to diversify your revenue base. Okay, so you can try to have to get a job at law firms, to have delivery jobs at financial institutions such as banks and credit unions, but or insurance companies. But you should also try getting delivery jobs at printing companies. Okay, so in today's conversation, I want to give you a quick introduction to printing companies and delivery jobs. One thing you need to really understand here is that printing companies handle everything from business cards, flyers, posters, and brochures to large scale commercial printing like banners and packaging materials. So when you are thinking about marketing and advertising for a small business or a large enterprise, that's what printing companies do. Okay, so because printer materials need to get from the print shop to the client quickly and in perfect condition, deliveries actually becomes a crucial part of their business. Okay, so this is really important. One thing I want you to really understand here is that, let's just say, delivery drivers in this industry, they don't just drive. Okay, because they also often load and unload print materials, organize shipments, and sometimes provide excellent customer service by delivering it directly to clients or businesses. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you want to get delivery jobs at printing companies, you need to understand the end customer, the end recipients. The end recipient is a business. The end recipient is an entrepreneur. The end recipient is somebody or a business who's trying to really use marketing or advertising to his or her advantage, right? So it's important. Okay. So now, what about the types of delivery jobs at printing companies here? Now, there are a few types of delivery roles you might find at the printing companies. You have a local delivery driver. So these drivers handle deliveries within the city or nearby areas, usually using smaller trucks or vans. Let's say, for instance, you got a job at downtown New York, for instance. You could probably just be covering the tri-state area. Also, you can cover the city or the tri-state area. And then you have, so besides local delivery driver, you also have a route driver. And route drivers are actually drivers who have specific routes they run daily or weekly, often delivering to the same customers consistently. You also have freight or bulk delivery drivers. Okay, for larger print jobs like banners or packaging materials, you might be driving bigger trucks or box trucks. Or you also have courier or messenger. So in smaller companies or metropolitan areas, some drivers use smaller vehicles or even bikes for urgent or small parcel deliveries. So if you have a business, or you're trying to really get a delivery a delivery job at the printing companies, what are the qualifications and skills needed this year? The first thing you need to really understand is that basically you got to have a valid driver's license, whether you work at a printing company or you're just doing solo. Like if you're an independent contractor, for instance. Okay, most companies require a clean and current driver's license. Again, whether you are working for them, like in-house, or you are working independently as a contractor. So depending on the vehicle size, a commercial driver's license, a CDL, might be necessary. So a valid driver's license is the first one. You also got to have driving experience, because you got to have experience driving vans, box trucks, or commercial vehicles. Okay, and this could be a plus. Now, every situation is different, right? You might have some delivery jobs that do not require, like, let's say, extensive driving experience. Some might just require short driving experience, while others might want you to have a long driving experience. It depends on the route that you're on. It depends on also in the area, but also the material you are delivering. You also got to have physical fitness. If you want to have a delivery job at printing companies as a solo or in-house driver, you got to have physical fitness. Okay, since you'll be loading and unloading print materials, you need to be able to lift boxes and handle materials carefully. Here I'm talking about materials that actually weigh anywhere from 25 pounds to 50 pounds, or sometimes even 100 pounds. So we're talking about physical fitness at a very at an average level, more than average even. You got to have attention to detail too. So print materials can be fragile or even have strict delivery deadlines. So you must be detailed oriented to ensure deliveries are accurate and timely. This is really important from a flexibility point of view. You also got to have customer service skills. Sometimes you will interact with customers directly. So a friendly professional attitude is actually really important. And finally, you got to have time management and navigation skills. So knowing your delivery area and managing your time efficiently is kind of quintessential to actually succeed in this in this role. So how do you find delivery jobs at printing companies? Again, I want to insist on the fact that you can find delivery jobs at printing companies as a solo, as an independent contractor, or as an in-house driver. But in today's conversation, I want to focus on the fact that the most important thing is to for you to add value. You have to be punctual. You have to add value, and most importantly, you have to be reliable. Okay, so again, it's all about understanding your recipients, understanding your shipper, and seeing exactly the importance, like the pivotal nature of what you are transporting, of what you're hauling. Okay, so if you want to find delivery jobs at printing companies as an independent contractor or as an in-house driver, you want to think about online job boards. I'm speaking about ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Glassdoor, and LinkedIn. Those often list delivery driver jobs specifically at printing or commercial companies. You also have company websites. If you have, you can actually go to the websites of large printing companies in your area or even nationally and see what's available, right? Many smaller companies also post jobs actually only on their own sites. You also have local classifieds and community boards. So sometimes printing companies post delivery jobs, actually delivery job ads in local newspapers, community centers, or job boards. So every locality is different. So you have to really see what applies to your area. You can also try temp agencies and staffing firms. Okay. Some staffing firms specialize in logistics and delivery roles. Registering with them can give you access to temporary or permanent delivery jobs. This is an important element to think about. You also have networking, so you can reach out to your own network or visit companies in person. And sometimes handing in a resume face to face or making a good impression can lead to a job opportunity. You just never know. Of course, you can also try the regular load boards, okay, like that or truckstop.com to see what's available there too. So I'm still talking to you about how to get delivery jobs at printing companies, okay? And so how do you apply and what to include in your application if you're looking for a role at a printing company as a delivery driver, okay? Of course, you got to really understand what is your capacity. Are you getting there as a sole proprietor, as an independent contractor, as a one-person business, or are you trying to be enrolled? Are you trying to be hired as an in-house driver? So either way, you need to have a resume, a cover letter, references. Those could be business references from past clients, okay? Or you also want to make sure that you have a follow up in your strategy. So when I say resume, here I'm speaking about you being able to very succinctly, very briefly highlighting your driving experience, any previous delivery jobs, okay? It's not just about delivering for printing companies. If you're delivering as a medical courier, for instance, if you have delivered like if you have delivered for law firms, for financial institutions in the past, like any delivery jobs are worth mentioning on your resume. And you also want to mention your familiarity with vehicles and any customer service skills that you have. Mention physical ability to handle loading tasks, right? Loading and unloading. You also have a cover letter. A cover letter is really important because you want to differentiate yourself in a very crowded job marketplace. Okay. So you want to tailor your cover letter to the printing company showing that you understand the importance of delivering print jobs carefully and on time. Again, punctuality is really important here. And you also, like I said, business references. Okay, so references from previous employers, previous clients, preferably in the print industry. But even if you don't have in the print industry, that's totally fine as long as those clients or those employers are willing to vouch for you. They're willing to really talk favorably about you. Okay, so that's pretty good. All you want to do is you want to really reach out to you want to mention references who can vouch for your driving or delivery reliability, right? You do not want to really just pick people because they know you and they like you or whatever. No, they have to be able to vouch for your driving or delivery reliability. And you also have follow up. So after applying, follow up with a phone call or email to express your interest. Okay, and also it's important to really check on the application status because the bottom line here is you want to show interest and you have to really show interest on a consistent basis. So if you are trying to get delivery jobs at printing companies, you need to understand that, again, I think I've said this before, but I want to repeat it. You are in a very crowded marketplace, job marketplace, a job marketplace that sees many actors, okay, sees many players. You are talking about independent contractors. You're thinking about solo entrepreneurs, solo drivers, single member delivery LLCs, okay. Or you also have in-house drivers. And by the way, in between, you have people who are doing both. There are people who actually have, who are working maybe a little bit on their own, but also working also for in-house, like as an in-house driver. Okay. So when you prepare for the interview, you got to really ask yourself, what's your capacity? What capacity are you getting to the interview? Okay. Because if you get called for an interview, be ready to discuss. I mean, having the opportunity to have to be called for an interview is already a privilege. This is a favor that the company is doing to you, right? So have your you want to really have your pitch ready, know exactly what to say, and most importantly, know what capacity you want to really work at the company, and most importantly, also, how do you add value? How do you make sure you're adding value to the company? You are really bringing in something very significant, very impactful. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to talk about, when I say prepare for the interview, you want to be ready to mention your driving record and experience. Okay. Your ability to handle physical loading and unloading. I've said this before. This job, if you are working for delivery, if you are delivering for printing companies, you better be fit a little bit. Okay. How you manage time and navigate routes. This is also an important element for the company to know how reliable you are, right? So this goes back to what I said earlier about punctuality. Situations where you delivered excellent customer service, because again, it's all about making sure that the end clients, the end recipients is really happy. The business that has ordered from the printing company is happy, okay? And also, you want to mention your availability and flexibility for work hours, because at the end of the day, you got to be flexible. If you want to get delivery jobs at printing companies as a solo or in-house driver, you have to be flexible in terms of your agenda, okay? Also, you want to show enthusiasm about working with the printing industry and emphasize your reliability and safety awareness, okay? Also, now, let me give you a few tips to succeed once you get the job, again, as a solo or as an in-house driver, okay? One thing you need to really understand here is that everything is all about preparing yourself, okay? Visualizing how you're going to add value. It's all about adding value. It's not just about saying, oh, yeah, I'm very happy to get the job, whatever. No, you want to be punctual and organized, always. Always, punctuality is going to carry you really far, because punctuality shows your clients, shows your employer that you can be reliable, that you are accountable, and most importantly, that you actually understand you understand the significance of the work that you have. Okay, so if you put yourself in your employer's shoes or in your client's shoes, and you're punctual and organized, You're showing them that you care about their business. Okay. Also, you want to handle print materials carefully to avoid damage. I mean, depending on the industry you're in, the materials can be very expensive, okay, or very fragile. Okay, so always know exactly your clients and know the industry you're in. Some industries are stricter than others. You want to keep your vehicle clean and well maintained, okay? Also, communicate clearly with dispatchers and customers. That's really important also to actually to navigate the what I call the like you have to be ready to navigate all those people, all those professionals that are going to help you succeed in your delivery job at printing companies. So dispatchers, customers, freight brokers, and so on and so forth. And also always follow safety rules and company policies. Again, even if you are an independent contractor, your clients has policies, okay? And those policies must be followed. Those policies must be respected. Those policies must be complied with. This is how the company succeeds, and this is how they want the work to work with you. So it's always important for you to put yourself in your client's shoes and do the right thing, and take care of your physical health to actually manage lifting, but also long hours. I can't say this enough. You gotta be fit. Physical fitness is really important. Of course, mental fitness is also important, but physical fitness is way more important when it comes to getting delivery jobs at printing companies. Okay, so that's something you really you need to think about. So when you think about getting delivery jobs at printing companies, you really need to understand also is that you need to understand that the client you're trying to approach, the employer you're trying to approach, has policies, has a business model, and you want to adapt to that business model. What I'm trying to say is if you are getting, let's say, you're trying to get delivery jobs at the printing companies in the luxury industry, for instance, the way you approach the whole process will be different from the process you would follow if you are trying to get delivery jobs at printing companies in the retail space, right? Every industry is different. Every trend is different. Every customer base is different. It's all about making sure that you are tailoring your approach to the industry that seems to help you out more. One thing I also want to say here is that, you got to be organized. You got to be reliable, and you got to be ready to hit the road, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to get a source of income, you have to really show up every single time. Show up every single time. It's not about just going after many jobs in the printing industry. No, it's about getting the two or three or four high paying one, right? If you're getting well paid jobs, your strategy will be totally different because you wouldn't have to work that many hours or that many jobs just to be able to pay the bills. Okay, so you want to get in a space where you are able to pay your bills with while working comfortably, right? While making sure you're putting in the work, you're putting on the efforts, and that you're reaping the efforts. Okay, this is an important element. So, as an epilogue into this conversation, I spoke to you about how to get delivery jobs at printing companies. Okay, I gave you the steps you need to follow. Now, the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.